Right up, turn that dial. Put on your grin, stay a while. Hey! News gets weird, they've seen stranger. Big red phone for calling danger. Wade's got charts, Carter's zingers. Pointing fingers at the big spin slingers. It's the Wade and Carter Show, where your crazy headlines go. Roasting all the grand proposals with their coffee half in tow. They'll laugh, they'll rant, they'll roll, keeping big plans on patrol. Grab your seat, enjoy the blow-by-blow on the Wade and Carter Show. Oh yeah! Tax hike here, rule book longer. They poke fun, make your spine feel stronger. One says hold up, one says please. Both say freedom louder than the DC breeze. It's the Wade and Carter Show, where your crazy headlines go. Roasting all the grand proposals with their coffee half in tow. They'll laugh, they'll rant, they'll roll, keeping big plans on patrol. Grab your seat, enjoy the blow-by-blow on the Wade and Carter Show. Turn it up and let's all go. It's the Wade and Carter Show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Huh?
Song.
Yeah, brand new intro song. So, yeah, appreciate that. Let me know what you think. We'll
Yeah,
see
for
if
sure.
See if it stays. Wade and Carter Weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerlam Hayfeed and Ranch Services. Pretty much what you see is what you get if you've been paying attention the last couple of days. I think right now 69 degrees. We're going to head to a high of about 85. A little bit fog in the area today. But basically today's forecast and temperatures looking exactly like yesterday's. A little foggy, a little cool in the morning, but by the afternoon, by noon, it'll be nice and warm. Heading to a high today of 85, overnight low tonight 66. So if you've got an opportunity to get some gardening done, yard work this week of Easter, go ahead. This is the first time of the year to fertilize, and you can always go get the 21-7-14 blend over at Deerlam Feed, and yeah, now's the time to get it down. So Scott Tomko, Greg Garcia, Mark Kurtz on the podium this morning. Good morning, Linda Christ, Bobby Leister, Patrick Strauss, BJ Nelson, Lisa Poole, Brett Anderson, Ricky King, Marvin Mickish, Scott Tomko, Tammy Keeling, Andrew Alvarez says he loves the music. Linda loves the music. Monica Jost loves the music. Tammy Williams, Jordan Glass. Tammy Williams says it's something. Greg Garcia says very nostalgic. I thought it had sort of that, remember that 90s pop punk? Mm-hmm. Not really Blink 182, but more Sum 41. If you remember them, it kind of had that vocal sound, but the music itself was a little bit more, I don't know, vaudevillian maybe?
Poppy?
I don't know. Bobby Leister says it's unique. Justin Glass, David Glass, Funky Trey Molina. Scott Tomko says gardening is all done. It's all about the weeds now. He's dealing with nut grass. Stephanie Connie's in. John Anderson, good morning. BJ, no, Brent is out of town for 3 days, and he'll be back either Wednesday or Thursday. This is an annual deal that he goes on every year, so he's gone for 3 days. So you got me trying to line up some guests to come in or at least join us this week as well. As you can tell, my voice still not quite where it needs to be, but yeah, Warriors Weekend was, BJ says that song reminded her of the movie Hairspray. Yeah, I wasn't sure we were really going for show tunes with it, but the lyrics were kind of what I liked, but it's hard. How do you pick a genre that won't turn some people off? But Warriors Weekend muster, hats off to Ron Koshin and everybody at Warriors Weekend that does a great job as always putting that event on. And Cody, you were there.
Yes, sir.
Have you been involved in that in the past?
No, sir.
So this is your first one. So
That was my first
your
one.
thoughts. What do you think? What did you think of the event?
There's a lot of people, but I thought the middle of it when they did the serious time, if you will, was very cool. It looked like most people were having a good time, and it looked like it was done in a very professional manner. So it was very exciting to see it, and I hope they raised a lot of money because they spent a lot of money. So,
Tammy says it reminded her of a Rice Krispies commercial. Quite snappy. That's probably pretty fitting. Scott Snow, Kodiak Services presented them with a check for $50,000. 50 auction items. I don't recall one of them going for under $1,000. So I'm assuming,
that's awesome.
Don't let the media. And we're going to get into some of these data prognostications for later this week, but don't let the media fuel your fears that the economy isn't as good as it is. Yes, there's sectors where we're paying a little bit more for things. Yes, fuel's up, obviously, but we're still nowhere near the 8-9% inflation we saw a few years ago. And what was inflation in 2025? Less than 3%, I believe.
Can I say one more thing
Yeah.
about one of the things that I kept thinking the entire time Saturday night at Warriors Weekend was over the day there are other political parties that I don't know as much about doing things in our city, and I thought this is such a greater use of our time.
Yeah, and we're going to get to that too today.
Okay.
But, yeah, just to give you an idea, annual inflation, according to Trading Economics, 2.4% annually for the 12 months ending in February. So it remains steady from January. Monthly prices rose slightly, 0.3%. So there you go. We're not seeing the huge, ridiculous inflationary pressures that we were seeing a few years ago. But we're already seeing the doomsday because the markets went 5 weeks now without a win. We're seeing the markets and those that prognosticate and maybe try to, influence the markets, say some things for Friday's big economic data. But, I think I will say this. I think that was, and Ron, great to see you there. Great job as always. It was nice to see Patrick Visconti and listen to his story. He's battled a lot. The one thing that I thought he would mention that he doesn't is Warriors Weekend is the reason Pat ever came to this region. He's originally from New York, and he came down on a Warriors Weekend trip years ago and never left Victoria. He's now living in the Katy area, but he and I become pretty good friends over the years, and he tells me that Warriors Weekend, and he mentioned this Saturday night as well, if not for Warriors Weekend, he didn't think he'd be here. Warriors Weekend saved his life. He talked a little bit about what he went through in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he's dealt with a lot of PTSD. Was wounded over there, and he's had a lot of struggles, but he's a good guy at heart, and he's one of the reasons we have the freedoms that we do. But I thought the community center dome was as packed as I've ever seen it. Certainly, probably a bigger crowd than the last 2 or 3 years. And I think that's what I'm getting to is that's the sign that the economy isn't as bad as they tell you it is.
Right. Agreed.
Sherry Jacobs checking in. Good morning, Marina. But yeah, good event, Ron. Really well done. And, the table in the center of the dome for the POWs and missing in action, very moving. The tribute to the fallen soldiers, very moving. if you can sit in there and not at some point have to dry your eyes, you don't have a heart, you don't have a soul. I don't know anybody. I didn't see anybody around that I was sitting with that wasn't in tears at some point. But it's not all. It's not all sad.
Agreed.
You know, it is a celebration, and a way to pay back to those who have come back, but they're not the way they were when they were deployed.
Absolutely.
And Patrick Strauss says, "Hey, it was our first one. We really enjoyed it." Monty Howard checking in from Port A. Good to see you, Monty. But yeah, really good event, Ron, and appreciate all you do for the Warriors. Some of the numbers: 8,000 Warriors have come to Warriors Weekend since they began that event. So just to give you an idea of the lives that they've changed and impacted through the years. So well done, really good. The No Kings protest. I'm gonna say this: if I'm got a booth at the farmers market, I'm getting ticked off at the fact that, and this is just my observation. I don't know if it's true, if the numbers bear out, but it's my observation that there's not as many people at the farmers markets on the Saturdays when these idiots decide to hold these protests as there are when they don't decide to hold these stupid, idiotic protests. We haven't had a king in this country for 250 years.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I've slept since then, and I can't remember if we were under a king's monarchy or a queen's monarchy back in 1776, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's hard to understand what we're protesting when it's not something we live under.
Yeah. Well, it's pure BS is what it is. The whole narrative around this is BS. Trump's acting like a king. He issues executive orders to get things done. What do you think Biden did?
Right.
What do you think Barack Obama did? Unfortunately, our Congress has become so stagnant and unable to get a lot done. Presidents have had to issue a lot of executive orders. Bear with me here. Executive.
You want me to look it up for you?
Sure. Just executive orders by president. See what we're dealing with. $250, I think, right now under the current Trump presidency. Franklin D. Roosevelt, FDR, 3,700. He holds a record, but didn't he also serve almost 8 terms or whatever, 4 terms because of it? Yeah. Early presidents issued thousands of them. They haven't really kept very good records on this. The Federal Register, I think, has every executive order issued since 1937 or something like that.
It looks like other than Biden, Obama, Bush Jr., Clinton, Reagan, Carter, Nixon, Johnson, Eisenhower, Truman, we don't want to go back further than that. All of those have put way more out.
Yeah. If you really want to think about the No Kings thing, right? FDR issued 3,700 of them during a time of the Great Depression and World War II. There's your king, folks. there's your king. Joe Biden only issued 162, 161 of them were signed by auto pen. But what? How many? Maybe 3 dozen people showed up Saturday.
Maybe. That was about what it was when we went by there.
Yeah.
But they had a live music.
Oh, nice. So the performer's family probably accounted for 12 of those people, family and for close friends coming to watch him play. Mom, I finally got a gig. Scott Snow says they're crying just because they didn't get their way, and they really are. That's exactly what it boils down to. And, you know, you can sit there and argue, oh, free speech, blah, blah, blah. They have the right to protest. Yeah, they do. But what exactly are you protesting? The fact you didn't get your way? Kamala Harris didn't win the election? You're making up lies. When you stand there and say and tell people, and your whole protest is built around the lie that Donald Trump is a king, your protest lacks any merit with me because it's a bunch of bull crap. If we truly had a monarch that was reigning over us and keeping his or her subjects down, as we were living in serfdom while they were living in the royal palace, you might have a legitimate complaint. But you don't. You don't. You've made up a lie. Your mainstream media partners perpetuate it. And then you hide behind your freedom and our freedom of being able to assemble peacefully and speak and say, oh, it's our right to protest. But you've built your protest around a lie. And at that point, free speech is no longer free. You're lying. You are purposefully lying to people. So now your speech isn't free and it isn't truth. It's a lie. It's propaganda. And you've lost me because you're liars. Most people don't like liars. Most people don't trust them.
Right. It's interesting to me how quick things like Facebook are to point out when it goes the other way.
Yeah.
But how it doesn't say anything about when it goes more left-leaning.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like, well, why is that not a lie if the other way's a lie?
Yeah.
Right?
No, king is not a euphemism. You've called Donald Trump a king. You've got to spin your narrative when your narrative gets broken down and exposed for what it is. A lie, not the truth. The true king or queen that you should be protesting happened within your own party when you circumvented your entire process and anointed Kamala Harris as the heir apparent to Joe Biden.
Yep.
That was the king or queen.
Right.
Next one up into the monarchy. Didn't allow the people to have a say at all. Well, but our delegates then confirmed her. You had no choice because Joe Biden was a mumbling mess of brain puddle. His gray matter is so scrambled, he had no choice but to step down. His handlers had to tell him to do it.
Just leave it alone.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the wheels turning. I was like,
Yeah.
don't do it. Don't do it.
No, it's crazy. But that's why 30 people were there on a Saturday afternoon instead of,
Hundreds.
yeah. Because they don't even most of the moderates in that party don't even believe the bull crap. Lonnie Howard says they've called him Hitler, fascist, Nazi, pedo. Why not king too? It all marginalizes their narrative. No, it really does. Morning, Sheriff Louderback. Yeah, let's take our first break. We are live from the Atzenhofer studio where we broadcast every single morning. The Wade and Carter Show brought to you, by a great bunch of sponsors, but Atzenhofer is our studio sponsor. And with Brent being gone, I've had to delegate some things. So this week I've delegated Ash's used car of the week to Cody. And Cody, what do we have this week?
Man, we got a cool car, actually. It is a 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Ben. So 2 years old, only has 10,380 miles.
Nice.
It is $26,995 currently, but it's clean. It's a white car with black interior, and looks like it's ready to roll from the photos we're looking at here. And
Nice.
so this is the slightly smaller Bronco, the one that doesn't have the ragtop roof. But man, it's 10,000 miles on a 2-year car. They must have just been driving to church or something.
Yeah, that was the old lady driving
Right.
it to and from church before trading
It's
it
probably-
in on. Yeah.
It looks spotless on the inside. It's got a nice screen in it, and it's pretty decked out looking for a 2-year-old car. So
Yeah. So what year? 2024?
2024 with 10,000.
Bronco Sport with 10,000, just over 10,000 miles. And how much?
It is listed at $26,995.
There you go. That's an offers used car of the week.
Yes, sir.
We'll get some pictures, but don't even wait. Just go get it.
Let's go get it.
Yeah, just go get it.
With 10,000 miles, it's not going to be there very long.
No, not at all. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends this Thursday, Wade and Carter night. Palace Bingo, be there, be square. 7 different charities supported by Palace Bingo, including Warriors Weekend. But yeah, if you want to get there a little early. But first ball pops at 7:30. If you get there around 6:45, 7-ish, you can enjoy some great cafeteria style food. Good little cafe in there. L&L Grill does a great job with your classic cafeteria or cafe style food, and it's really good. They've also got great cakes and pies.
What's your favorite thing to eat there?
The cake?
The cake?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've yet to have a piece of cake there, and I've tried almost every one of them. they fail to disappoint. White Trash Services, 550-1826. Give BJ and Scott a call. Let White Trash become your trash service provider. If you're in the county or any of the counties on the Blue Bull network, in and around Victoria, all the way out to Karnes County, all the way down towards the coast, Calhoun, Goliad, DeWitt, Gonzales, Victoria, obviously. They'll. I can't say enough good things. When I was living in the country and used White Trash, I used 2 trash providers. I won't name the first one. I don't think they're actually in business as they were. They've been acquired, I think, twice since then. But there were days where my trash wouldn't get picked up. Never a call, never any explanation, and White Trash never missed a day. Didn't matter if it was freezing, didn't matter if the rain was torrential and we thought that Noah was building his ark. Didn't matter. Those days we can't remember anymore. They're just a memory. But yeah, White Trash does a great job, and they've given over $30,000 back to area volunteer fire departments. With as dry as it is, that is money that is not only appreciated, but certainly needed this time of year. So
it'll go to a great resource for those departments.
Yeah, Went services for all your electrical needs. If you need Went, if you need electrical work, as I see Carl Went checking in, make sure that you give Went a call. They've done work for me as well, and really appreciate the great service. Advice they gave me when I was looking at doing something, they said, no, you know what? You'd probably be better if you did it this way, because you will get a lot more use out of that plug if you do it here as opposed to where I wanted to put it, and they were absolutely right. So that's the kind of expertise that they'll give you. And, that wasn't your typical government change order. They didn't charge me any more for it. They just said, hey, I think you'll like it here better than there. So there you go. And Alan's Wrecker Service. Give Alan a call. If you're anywhere within the sound of my voice, Alan will have you covered. If you need a wrecker, Alan's is simply the best. I've not used anyone else in years, and was using them before this show and before they ever became a sponsor, because Alan and Janet Miller are also great people and give back to this community, and those are the businesses I like to support.
I was driving home on, I guess that was Wednesday night, and I came to Edna, and there had been a huge wreck, and there were cops everywhere and all kinds of things. Only wrecker company out there was Allen's.
Yeah.
So now maybe they were closer. I don't know, but it just showed they were there. They were ready. They, were able to handle it. So
yeah. Crystal Map checking in. Let's see if I missed anybody. Michelle Wilson Hawkins. Good morning to you. Torrin Bales checking in. Christy Thurman. Christy says the No Kings protest wasn't political. It was a strategic move, choosing the day prior to Palm Sunday. Very dark beliefs and spreading non-truths. Very, very dark, and it spreads like a disastrous virus. Beware who you hang with. There you go. Johnny McGarity checking in. Yeah, Greg Garcia, you hit the nail on the head. Under a monarchy, protests do not happen. No, they kill you. Historically, maybe not in this day and age, but typically, yeah, you protest the king or the queen, off with your heads. Let's see. Let's see how the doomsdayers do come Friday, because already they're trying to say that unemployment is forecast to reach 4.5%. But I mean, you're a country of 330 million people. Not all of them employable, but 4.5% really is virtually nobody's unemployed. Well, except for me. I'll be part of that numbers. OECD says U.S. consumer prices are set to climb about 4.2% in 2026. Again, they're trying to make prognostications an entire year out, basically. We're just at the end of the first quarter. And all they're saying, well, it's because of the current high gas prices. There's no choice. Well, what if this thing ends tomorrow, which I don't think it will. But if it did, your gas prices are going to come down again. But Sheriff Louderback, appreciate you. He's heading to Austin to take part in some meetings up there. Maybe tomorrow or Wednesday when you're back in town, and you can stop on by, but always appreciate your willingness. But reached out and was trying to see if he was going to be available to talk to us. A lot of people are saying that this whole war was, and here's the idiocy of what's going on with some of the folks on the left, that Well, the whole reason for this war was to deflect from Epstein files. Let me just bear with me for a quick second here. I'll keep rambling, but at the same time, I'm trying to find a guy that I've been starting to follow on Twitter.
I cannot help you with that.
No, I know. At Sayer, Sayer Jigmi. This guy has been just, and he's got a Substack page. And he's been diving through the Epstein files for those of us who don't have the time. And last week, I got wind of it on the weekend. Exposed Bill Gates for who he was. Bill Gates went to Epstein's Island in 2013 alone, left his security detail behind. This was after Epstein was convicted and spent time in prison or jail or whatever for his first sexual misconduct, sexual crimes. And everybody started to know who Epstein was. Didn't stop people like Bill Gates. So if you don't want to go through it all by yourself, or have the time, or you don't have the stomach to read some of the things that went on in Epstein's Island, he breaks it down for you. Nobody's shunned Bill Gates. Nobody's saying, "Oh, he's a pedophile. He's a sex addict. He's a sexual criminal. He's a predator." Nobody. Because the political left revere him. He became their COVID expert. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
You guys, the left love Robert F. Kennedy Jr. until he didn't go along with your party line of and be a teetotaling, line walking, got to get your COVID shot, got to get your booster, got to get your 83rd booster. Then you guys were done with RFK Jr. This is a guy you all gave money to and couldn't wait to get to his parties and support everything he supported when he wasn't aligned with Donald Trump. And this is how you feel about Bill Gates. And all this is coming out about Bill Gates. I think I talked a little bit about this about a month ago, how some of this stuff is starting to come out on Bill Gates. And the left hasn't done anything to distance himself from Bill Gates. They just keep pointing fingers at Trump. Oh, it's him. He doesn't want to release the files. Orange man bad. My Bill Clinton voice kind of encompasses all Democrats. That's kind of where it is.
I was wondering, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah. And Monty Howard hits the nail on the head. Gates is part of the globalist elites. And he is. Go to Seattle and look at Bill Gates' house and see how much
Is it just a little shack?
Oh,
Is that what you-
just a tiny little thing
Okay,
right on the edge of the water.
gotcha. It's a 3-2, 1,400 square feet,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Sells for about $190 a square foot.
Right.
$1,990,000 a square foot.
Right,
Yeah.
right. 'Cause it's marble
Yeah.
inlaid and
Even back then when it was being built, because I watched this thing as it was being constructed, I'm like, man, he's just destroying the ecosystem on the lake on the east side of Seattle where he was building this thing.
But he's charitable, Ash. He gives so much money
Yeah,
away.
well, that's exactly it. The people mad about the potential dredging in the
Right.
down in Matagorda Bay or Lavaca Bay. Where were they when Bill Gates was digging up all the land that he did so he could build his house right on the water? It's crazy. Melissa Hansen checking in. Torrin Bale says the left is now starting to nudge out Jonathan Fetterman because he's starting to make sense. Yeah, because he's, the Senate wanted to pull out the funding or send a bill back without funding ICE, and I think Congress is going to take that up again this week. I listened to an interview with Chip Roy over the weekend, and apparently he's adamant that funding will go back into the House version because he basically called out the senators for not having any guts, and the Republican senators. John Thune needs to be replaced in the Senate, in my opinion. Terrible leader for the Republicans in the Senate.
You want to talk about Artemis?
Yeah.
Change it up a little
Yeah,
bit?
I was just kind of going there. Let me find that story here real quick.
It's scheduled to launch tomorrow, April 1, while you pull up the rest of the story.
Is that
It's from space.com. Artemis 2 moon mission, 2 days till NASA's April 1 launch. Looks like it's already up there, getting ready to go.
just real quick? Estimated about 8 million people took part in No Kings rallies across the country over the weekend. That's about half of the unemployed people in this country. Turns out to be about just over 2% of the population, supposedly. If that number is true, I don't believe it, but whatever. Maybe if all those people actually got jobs and were working on Saturdays, the unemployment rate would be 2.3%. I don't know.
All right, liftoff is set for 6:24 for Artemis 2. Launch 4 astronauts on a 10-day voyage around the moon.
The first Canadian will be part of that crew. Listen to this. The crew reflects a more inclusive era of exploration. The first woman, the first person of color, and the first Canadian to venture into deep space. Does that really matter? Do I care? I still don't understand why we're going back to the moon, why we need to put a presence on the moon.
Have we been there before?
Why we think we need to colonize Mars. But do I really care about the diversity of the crew in space? If this is supposed to be about protecting and preserving the human race, I just want the most qualified there.
Absolutely. I wonder what they can do for 10 days flying around the moon. I wonder what they can observe.
I don't know. Take lots of pictures and post them on Instagram, I guess.
Right.
The historic trip comes with serious risks, dangerous radiation exposure, communication disruptions, and just the physics involved with this flight.
Oh, Melissa Hansen fact-checked me. She said tomorrow's the 31st. She's absolutely correct. So
Yeah.
2 days. 2 days from now.
Jordan Glass says you can't go back to somewhere you haven't been.
I just got all excited for April, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But so yeah, we'll be sending folks to deep space apparently again. Take a quick break. Got a guest. We'll bring a guest in real quick. Come on, guest. The chopping block, get in, get all your meat needs. If you don't want to do the cooking on Easter, go to the chopping block this week. Get your Easter ham, your Easter spare ribs, your Easter brisket, whatever you want. They've got you covered. Cook some boudin over the weekend. Great stuff. Thank you. Notes for me. Good. Glad I need notes. Chesnick Furniture Company. Go see Bobby Leon. I had a nice visit with Bobby last week. Gave me a call. We chatted for a while. If you need any furniture for any room in your house, all the accoutrements, Bobby's got you covered. Great deals going on at Chesnick. If they have it in stock, they'll deliver it same day. If not, they can get it. If you like a style of a sofa or a brand, they've got great brands there. Best furniture made in America. The name says what it is. It's best furniture. Really is good stuff. But if you like the style and Bobby's got it in a color or a fabric you don't like, they can customize that for you, and get it delivered. So, Chesnick Furniture's been there for over 100 years, folks, in downtown Victoria. So stop on by. Para Vida Wellness, get healthy. Erica Bridge is going to stop by this week. They now accept HSA and FSA cards for payments. So if you have dietary needs, if you've got a medically restricted diet, and the folks at Para Vida are helping you with that, you can use your health savings account to pay for that. So just one way to stretch your before tax dollars even further. Veracruz Restaurant, open again today after being closed on the weekend. If you want the best Mexican food in town, just simply stop by Veracruz, right there in Navarro, just north of Airline. Easy to get to, and even easier to enjoy our favorite Mexican food at Veracruz. USA Concrete Coatings. Give USA Concrete Coatings a call for all your concrete coating needs, whether it's a garage floor, driveway. They can level houses as well. But Charlie Garcia and his gang just doing a great job covering all of our region. They work anywhere in the Noble, Corpus. Appreciate those watching at KTMV. But thanks to everybody. There we go. We got a guest in the studio. Big race coming up.
Good morning.
Good morning, Carolyn. How are you?
Lovely. We are in the final countdown to the 1,000 Strong Overcoming Obstacles 5K happening April 18. And a really special countdown is happening today. Today is our T-shirt deadline.
Okay.
So if anybody wants one of our iconic race T-shirts, we're actually going back to our pink. We have not done pink, I think, since we started the race in 2017. I don't know what we were thinking, but yeah, today by midnight.
Is it a hot pink or more of a soft pink?
It's a fuchsia pink.
Okay.
It's our logo pink, so it's actually what's there on the flyer.
All right.
But we decided to extend a special treat to our Wade and Carter fans and listeners. And so if they sign up with the code Wade and Carter Show today, they actually get a 10% discount off their race registration.
Team of 5 is $200, right?
Yep.
And an individual is $45.
That's right.
So you'll save $20 on a team and $450 as a person.
I'm
there
telling you. We're trying. And it's the cheapest obstacle race you're going to get your hands on.
Yeah.
If you try to race, we love our Tough Mudders. That's what inspired this race. But you're going to pay a time and a half times that to go race that. And you're going to have to drive 2.5 hours, 3 hours to get there. I actually know this. I raced it last year. So cool. But this is right here in our own backyard, right? Wake up at 6:30, still get there on time. and get to support something local.
Absolutely.
That's what I love. I loved how every business you just mentioned earlier, it's a local business. It's not some chain. And this, all the proceeds stay local to support Restoration House Ministries.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. What does Restoration House Ministries do for the people in this region? Who do they help?
The people that everybody thought was disposable. The people that everybody thought that wasn't ever going to be able to turn their lives around. The people that can't just seem to get it together.
The people that everybody else gave up on except themselves, right?
Come on, yeah, and themselves. By the time people come to us, they've given up on themselves,
Have they
right?
really?
They've completely given in to the trauma and the stuff that's going on in their mental health and in their bodies. And Restoration's House says, no, you still have value. Like, we still see you. Like, God had a plan for you, and we're going to get you back on track for that. And so we started off with women in 2009, so restoring moms and families. And we're so excited. We actually have our men's home active, guys. We have got young men in our ministry right now getting to experience that same restoration.
How many men?
I think there's one. I think they're just getting it started soft, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because we know from the what is that starfish theory, right? It matters to this one, right?
Yep.
And we forget that, like, you restore
well, and you forget the
one person.
generational impact this has, right?
Come on, yeah.
Because now this person, this man's getting help, and if he has children, they're not witnessing that anymore. So amazing.
You want to talk? Well, then say hello.
I'm Vera.
There you go.
And we, also you have to think about, like, every single person these residents touch, right? We don't just impact their lives, but every single one of their relationships moving forward, their employers moving forward, right? Their life, the trajectory of their life is completely changed from being in this program.
What services does a Restoration House provide to these people as they're trying to get their lives back in order?
Full everything. Like, we pay for everything. And there's something that happens when we put them in the cocoon of Restoration House. So they don't have to worry about a job. They don't have to worry about just outside noise at all. Like, there's no TV, there's no cell phones in our program. They literally just get to come in and heal. And we finally get to the root of the things that are causing the trauma and the self-medication. And we get to, like, actually let them encounter who Christ really is, right?
And this is, and that's the thing. This is Christ-centered.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. We surround them with the love of God. And that's what actually makes the difference, you know? Unfortunately, like, we know in our community, right? Like, God feels like a judge, right? On a throne with a gavel, right? And we don't realize that he's actually God's coming after everything that separates us from him. And that's the God they get to encounter in this program. Nice. The God that, like, sells everything to come after them and heal them and restore them.
Tell us again about the event. It's on April 18th.
We have over 10 different obstacles, some permanent, some pop-up, tons of mud pits. Wouldn't be an obstacle race without them. We also have the Army's going to be out there. Lots of volunteers from Victoria College this year. Excited. The respiratory program and the physical therapy program. Cool. Their kids are going to be out there. TDECU is coming out for one of the first times ever. Nice. Super excited about them. And then all of our staples. And then your finish line is lined with health-minded vendors. And so it's not just for racers. Anybody that wants to come out and hang out with that day, I encourage you. So 7 to 9 is really the race. And
what ages? Can the whole family go out there?
Oh, you certainly can. We had a 4-year-old run it with his dad 2 years ago. So right now we're kind of saying our age is 5.
And if you've got a capable 4-year-old?
Yeah. And we've got bounce houses coming out and a gyro ball coming out from Creative Stage. So there's going to be fun things. Even if your kids don't want to run the race, they're going to be able to have a blast.
Nice. Awesome.
Tide's going to be out there with the really cool ionized hydrogen-rich water for anybody to try. And the good food. I don't remember who's coming out for food, but always good food. Oh, the Julu ice guy, the Italian ice. And they always give out samples. If you've never had it, you definitely need to come out and give it a try.
Great.
And then get on with the rest of your day. That's what I love. Like 9 o'clock, you're out of there, feeling like you just overcame the world because you kind of did. It's a really cool experience.
Nice. Carolyn, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Last day to sign up today, at least to get your shirt.
To get your T-shirt, yeah. You can come
race day and sign up as well.
We'll get you in.
You're just not going to get that fuchsia shirt to wear around town.
Exactly. It is Wade and Carter Show, no spaces.
And that's and spelled out or the symbol?
Yeah, it's A&D.
All right, there you go. And all the money goes to help the folks at Restoration House Ministries not only provide the services that they've been providing for many, many years for women, but also now expanding that into services for men as well. So appreciate you. Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks for
you.
stopping by.
And we've got that up on our website
there we
live
go.
now. So
Awesome.
With a link to all the
Good.
sign-up stuff.
All right, and
And you guys can use that code all the way up into race day.
Awesome.
there you
Yeah,
go.
for 10%
All right.
off the race.
Appreciate it. There you go. We'll give you a blank screen to get on by,
Jeez.
and remind you once again
Taking
to
that.
get to Offer, our studio sponsor. If the flags are flying, people are buying, stop on by. Ashes/Cody's used car of the week is a
That's right.
2024 Ford Bronco Sport, white in color, 10,000 miles, just a shade under $27,000. So great deal. Get on by. And with the money you save, you can go take part in the Restoration House Ministries Overcoming Obstacles 5K on April 18th.
Looks like it'll be a lot of fun, and you're probably going to get muddy out there, and that's okay because you're going to get a new shirt. So if you
absolutely.
register by today. All right.
Good. Appreciate it, Carolyn. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, let's see what else is going on in the world today.
Do we care about the Final Four?
We'll get to that in a little bit here. We've got a little bit of time. I did want to talk a little bit about this interesting stuff going down. AJ Louderback, our state representative, just appointed to a new committee. He was named to the Texas House Oversight Committee. It's the Texas House Select Committee on Governmental Oversight, I believe is
That sounds correct.
the name of this. They'll be looking into accountability, integrity, government operations, trying to improve efficiencies. I hope that's true. I really do. I have to wonder if part of this is in the wake of what we found with the fraud in Minnesota, the fraud in Massachusetts, the fraud in California. And I said it then when all this Somali welfare fraud came out that there's no way Texas is not immune to this at all. But one interesting thing that this committee will be looking into is and I don't know how realistic this is, if this is just political posturing, if this is a way for a couple of counties in New Mexico to get a little love from the New Mexico governor, a little attention. But Lee and Roosevelt counties in New Mexico, they sit in southeastern New Mexico. Not just paying this lip service, though. They're looking into what it would take to annex themselves into Texas.
That's crazy. I've
Yeah.
never heard of anyone doing that.
I don't recall any states assuming counties from a neighboring state. They have some states will have reciprocal agreements on tuition for schools that, universities that are just across the border. They might, like Texarkana has some shared governance because part of that city's in Arkansas and part of it's in Texas, that sort of thing. But the Arkansas county that houses half of Texarkana isn't looking to come to Texas anytime soon.
Might be better if they did, though.
I don't know about that.
I'm from Arkansas, so I can say that.
But the folks there are saying that this movement in New Mexico and Lee and Roosevelt counties, and apparently Eddy County is also another one that wants to be tied to this discussion. Seeking better alignment with the state of Texas politically, culturally, and economically. They also have to have a lot of. They also happen to have a lot of oil, which would probably be the reason why New Mexico won't let them go, and might be the reason why Texas is even considering this and willing to have these discussions. Leadership in those counties, though, say they're not happy with the state leadership in Santa Fe, and that they're seeking better representation, according to some YouTube videos that I saw, and economic growth opportunities. So, yeah.
I think my mind's just blown about the idea of somebody like changing states. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, no, it is kind of weird. People in New Mexico are saying, this is just symbolic. They're not really going to do anything. It's just an effort to wedge a divide politically. But I don't know. It'd be interesting.
It would be.
Andrew Alvarez says he'll be fine with a couple more Republicans in Congress, especially if they're from Texas.
I wonder how many more counties we need to be bigger than Alaska. That's really the question on everyone's mind.
Well, quickly look this up. It's Lee, L-E-A County in New Mexico, Roosevelt County, common spelling.
Yeah, because you spelled Lee for me.
Well, because you probably would have gone L-E-E, right?
I
Not
would
L-E-A.
have. You're 100%
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And Eddy County, E-D-D-Y, as opposed to E-D-D-I-E. And let me know just what the population is. How many people would Texas be gathering or gaining if these three counties were annexed by the state? And House Speaker Dustin Burrows says he wants to explore adding these counties. So this is more than just lip service. They're looking at how we can, redraw Texas's geographical map. I don't need exact numbers. Ballpark will work. I mean, what are we talking? 20,000 people, or are we talking more like, impact of bigger than Victoria?
$161,405 for all three counties.
So, yeah, not a bad gain. I mean,
Yep.
roughly two to 2.5 times the Victoria city population.
Yep.
1.5 times the county. Yep. Fairly significant when you think about it.
Yep.
Monty Howard wants to know where you're from in Little Rock. He says he was born, or where you're from in Arkansas. He says he was born in Little Rock and did a little growing up in Carroll County.
I'm from Conway, which is 30 minutes north of Little Rock.
There you go. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
First State Bank of Louise Astros update. Astros started off the season 0-2. Now they're 2-2 after getting a couple of wins, splitting that 4-game series with the Angels. Couple of high-scoring affairs on Saturday and Sunday for the Astros. Yesterday, I think 9-7. On Saturday, they put up 11 runs, won 11-9. But really struggled on Thursday and Friday to score any runs. Of course, blanked in their season opener on Thursday 3-0, then lost 6-2 on Friday night. But Saturday and Sunday, the bats came alive. Nice to see Mike Trout for the Angels get off to a pretty good start. I like Mike Trout. I think he's just, he's batting .462 at a couple of home runs over the weekend. Really like that. The Final Four. Let's get to that because Texas lost, Duke lost, Houston lost. Going to be an interesting mix in the Final Four this year. Michigan beat Tennessee. UConn edged Duke 73-72. And Illinois trounced Iowa, and Arizona hammered Purdue. I think the favorite's got to be Arizona going forward.
That's what I would think, too.
Michigan could very well be as well. I think you'll see Michigan and Arizona in the championship game. Final Four Saturday. UConn takes on Illinois. Arizona and Michigan. Well, we won't see Arizona and Michigan in the championship because those two number 1 seeds will play each other. UConn and Illinois, a 2 and a 3 seed. And again, continuing the string of, I don't think anybody lower than a 4 seed has been in the Final Four in the last several years. Once again, just showing that those that seed that tournament get it right and get the best teams into the championship, which is what you want.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you all. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Get out and enjoy the day. Make it the best one possible. And we will see you all
Mañana.
mañana. Bye, folks.